Hey, good morning, everybody. Just had a really good conversation with somebody about the listings management tool, the listings pre-scan tool, to be specific. They were using it to not only re-engage their clients that they have right now, but then also prospect some new clients, especially through referrals. So wanted to talk a little bit about our conversation. They had said that they came across, I'm going to pull my client's listing pre-scan up here while we're doing this, but so they came across this tool. It's working really, really well. And they're bringing it up to their prospects, talking about the inaccuracies of the listings, and they're getting one snag, right? So they're talking about the inaccuracies of the listings while people are going out and looking around the web. They're not getting the right name, address, phone number, even URL. And a lot of times what's happening quite often is they're hitting the snag in that conversation of the fact that, and you can see with my client, this is not correct. So I got a call to make to this client, but they're running into the snag when they're prospecting with this tool, and then also when they're talking to their customers that, well, my Google listing and Facebook and Bing look really good. My errors are really happening kind of down here in these more obscure websites. So, I don't feel like a whole lot of customers are going to be impacted by seeing that. As ludicrous as that might sound, the reality is that's really, really difficult to sell against, right? So especially once you get into the really obscure stuff that people have never heard of before. Tupelo, most customers never heard of that. Ariel, Avantar. These are more obscure websites that customers are going to feel like if my information is not correct there, it's not going to be costing me a lot of money, right? And let's be real. If a couple of people go to Avantar and find bad information, how much money is that customer really losing? And the trade-off is really maybe $100, $150, $200 a month, depending on what kind of presence program or package you're going to offer this customer. So you're talking about $1,500 a year, right? So you're talking about a decent amount of money, and we're having a disconnect there between the customer being able to calculate ROI that seems favorable to them to purchase this product to fix this problem. Now, what I have a lot more success with, and some other reps that I work with have a ton of success with, is flipping that conversation from humans are viewing these inaccurate listings and they're not getting your information and they can't contact you, to the overall well-being of the internet being the machine is the one that's going to impact you the most. The machine of Google, the machine of Bing, those machines are going around the web and they're looking at all these different listings, right? And as obscure as local.com or Easy Local or Show Me Local might sound to you, what happens with this is even though your Google listing is correct, Google is starting to see misinformation, mismatching their information around the web. And if they see that over and over again, they start to lose confidence in their thought that your information is correct. When they lose that confidence, they start to show you less. They might question whether or not their information is correct. Whether it is correct or not, if they're seeing mismatching information around the web, they're going to question whether their information is correct or not. And that's going to start to hurt you from a rankings perspective. Now we're flipping the sales conversation from hoping to gain that customer or the accumulation of customers, which may be significant across all those obscure websites that have misinformation, to the fear of loss of Google's correct listing actually not, that you having more confidence that Google's listing is correct than Google themselves. Once Google loses that confidence because they're seeing misinformation across the web within your business, they're going to start to remove your listing from the ranks that they are. So you're going to start to take a hit in your listing ranks. They may pull you down altogether. Either way, they're going to lose confidence in your listing, and you're going to start to lose from that perspective. Now you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of customers, potential customers for that client, not seeing their ad, not seeing their map listing or their local listing as often, and that starts to hit home. That's an ROI that can really start to impact that business owner. So as you're going into the marketplace, if you're talking about these other obscure listings not being correct and that really costing you a few customers, try it this way. Try flipping it and not talking about necessarily the people that are going to see that mismatched information. Start talking about the machine of Google that's going to see that mismatched information. When they see that, they're going to lose confidence in the correctness of their listing, which means they're not going to offer it to their customers as often, which means then you're going to lose those customers that were going to look at your listing. That's the way that you're going to be able to approach this topic and have a little bit more success from a return on investment standpoint, because the reality is it's hard to calculate those few different visits that those obscure websites are going to get. But the reality is, when you talk about the machine of Google losing confidence in those thousands and thousands of people every month that are going to look at it, that's a lot bigger hit that the customer can really start to not only visualize and feel, but worry about and want to prevent. So I want to thank everybody for your time today. I shared that with one person this morning, and I thought it was good enough for sure to share with everybody else. So try it out. Switch it from you're going to lose the people that are seeing this to the machine is seeing something that they don't want to see. They're going to lose confidence, and then you're going to lose your ranking. Try it that way. See if it helps out. Good luck today. Talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.